We
did
are a
it.
podcast in which we all get together after we read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin, your host, and with me are two of my three lovely co-hosts. One of them couldn't make it, so it's really sad. But the other two, would you introduce yourselves, please? You're really pretty.
Hi guys, I am Dodger, and you should know that literally right before this, we were looking at Attack on Titan gay porn.
Yes,
Literally.
I just want everyone to know. I just want everybody to know. Like, at 7:29, we were still looking at Attack on Titan gay porn, and I was like, we need to stop. We need to do this thing.
But then we started talking about nisekoi porn and what would happen.
And what nisekoi porn would be like. Yeah. It, you know.
And then
I was into that conversation.
Dazzle was bragging about how he's getting Psychopath Special Edition, and I was like, well, is the Special Edition Psychopath porn? And he said no, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it wasn't as applicable.
Wakashima X Kogami. Come here. Oh, I got way too into that, and I accidentally hit everything full screen.
What, the porn?
All the porn, full screen.
I'm
Sorry.
not streaming it today, so now I just have porn going on my screen the entire time. So.
Dazzle, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm a Dazzle. So.
Perfect.
We did it. We
Good.
introduced ourselves like
Yoku
a legitimate podcast.
We're a legitimate podcast where we talk about porn.
Yep.
At least it's manga porn.
Manga porn.
Manga porn.
Manga porn cast. Why haven't we thought of that before?
It's our After Dark edition.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're doing that. That's gonna be our next thing that we do.
Guys, manga
porn.
porn.
Like,
We need to have an after hours panel at Anime Expo. After hours panel.
All things. All the things are okay.
Discrimination. Except for stuff that could get us in trouble.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no discrimination. Bring us the porn.
All of
manga
it.
Porn.
Bring us the porn. Erin, 2014.
Question though, how is it any different than normal MangaPod?
True. We did read Kiss XS.
It would be Kiss Exis type stuff all the time. We'd be We'd be rating things.
If that's what fetishes you're into, Erin, I've got
that rake porn. It's my favorite thing. You may have noticed that we are missing our lovely tsun-tsun, who we did not replace with Bod Kurama tonight. We actually replaced him with another handsome Megane. So, Yokorama could not make it tonight. He ended up getting stuck at work, which was really, really sad. He was really excited to talk about Bakuman, but he couldn't make it. So, it was really sad, but we miss him, and he will be back next week. Yeah!
Whatever, Yoku. You have like a legit job.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, how dare you work where we're all just sitting on the internet looking at porn all day?
God.
So you know what you missed? Erwin x Aaron x Levi gay porn.
Yeah, come on.
You missed tongue on nipple action.
From Tiger.
Tongue on nipple.
That's also true. There's a Tiger and Bunny section that might be on the same DVD, but we're not sure.
We're not sure, but there was also one below that we aren't quite sure what anime that one's from, but the guy's getting a blowjob and he legit just looks passed out. Like he's
just like
happy.
He's starfish on the floor. It's just like
just whatever, just do it. We're like, what's happening there? Maybe he's crying. Maybe that's like the deep emotional scene.
Maybe that's his break scene.
Yeah, that's his break scene.
His break scene, starfish. The break scene is.
Anyway.
Yes, so if you've never joined us for a MangaPod before, welcome. So happy to have you. This is typical. Get used to this. But what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description of the manga that we read, and then we'll give you our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think you should spend time going to read the manga or not. This week we read Bakuman, volumes 1 through 4, chapters 1 through 34. Also really quick, want to give you guys a spoiler warning. We are going to be heavy in spoilers, but that will come after we give you a 5-second countdown warning thing. We also would like you guys not to post any spoilers after chapter 34 into the chat. Also, no anime spoilers if it does not talk about the chapters that we talked about, because
if you need to know that if we finish exactly where season 1 finishes, so
okay, perfect.
Daza always knows. Daza's so good for that, to just be like, if you're caught up on the anime, but maybe have never read the manga before, we were actually, the chapter is right along to the same time as episode 45. So I'm just like, well, how do you know that?
Because I was hoping, it was like, we were getting up to that spot, and I was like, are we getting there? We're getting there? We're getting there? And it did it, and I'm just like, yes.
Clean.
Beautiful. So, hi.
I farted.
Hi.
Farted. Welcome to MangaPod. So yes, please do not post any spoilers in the chat. We can't time out on YouTube, so you'll just get banned. You'll get a warning. And then you'll get banned by our lovely mod, Ian Leaf. So please do not even pretend to post spoilers, because Ian, I do not believe, has seen or read any of Bakuman, so he won't know if you're joking or not. Daza has seen and read. Have you read all of it? Daza has seen and read all of it, so he
No, Daza gets to be that guy again. He's gonna sit there and be like,
I know. While you were getting water, he was like, oh, I wish Yoko could be this guy, but we haven't met him. But, oh, it's just been, and I'm like, no.
Stop. Yeah, at least Yoku's not here to be like, but guys, that thing is gonna happen. But guys, maybe that thing is gonna happen. And we're gonna be like, shut up, Yoku. And he's gonna be like, no, but guys, that thing.
He is the
that
worst
thing will happen.
Because
so bad at it.
Like, I really like this character because in the future, this episode, like, no, that doesn't matter in the future. It matters what happens now.
The future does not matter.
Hunter x Hunter was just.
Yeah.
That was so bad. So bad.
Yoko, what about this time? Well, no, in the future. I'm like, no, stop it.
Right now.
Yoko,
Talking
Yoko,
about
we love
right now.
We love you. We miss you.
Anyway.
MangaPod, family friendly as fuck.
Family friendly as fuck.
That's us, Loki.
Anyway.
So give us our spoiler-free description, Director.
Oh God, this is the bad one. Stall for a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Stalling. Yeah,
I wonder, oh man, you guys, I bet there's Bakuman gay porn.
Probably.
Hang on, Bakuman porn. Bakuman hentai. Rule
Yes.
34, Bakuman. I'm just gonna go to images. That
But
feels
what
like,
if you spoil yourself?
there's no, wait, I want gay porn, not just porn.
Yeah, come on. Gotta up your search skills.
What is happening? Some of these positions make no sense. Okay, I'm disappointed. It's just the manga covers. What is this? Internet, you've letted me down. You've letted me down with the box.
Letted us down real hard.
This is so terrible.
You're terrible. Just kidding. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Wait, Daza, do you just want to say it from your memory?
Yeah, just give.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Moritaka Mashiro was hold on. Moritaka Shahiro was burdened by the death of his uncle to manga. Now grown up, he's got very adverse effects from it. But one day, his classmate finds a notebook of which he has drawn many, many stylized images of the girl that he's in love with. Tagaaki Akito asks him to become a mangaka with him, and so forth. Together, they open the doors of Shueisha and become the best mangas we've ever seen. Maybe. I don't know. That's the story.
Yay!
That's beautiful. Awesome. All right, so that's our spoiler-free description. Now to go into spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think you should go spend time reading it or not. I will go first. I do believe that you should spend time going and reading this. I thought that it was a lot of fun, and it took something that you wouldn't think could be exhilarating, and it made that thing very exhilarating and very exciting, and it did it with very endearing and fun characters to watch or to read. What was I gonna say? I feel like we covered so much in what we just read, but I also feel like we haven't seen anything yet. So I'm really excited to keep reading more, and I recommend it, especially if you're a fan of Death Note. It's by the same team that did, the same artist and writer who did Death Note. I think you should check it out.
The art makes it so obvious.
The art makes it so obvious,
just
but
like,
there's times
oh my
where it
God.
also has like that same just the suspense feel to certain moments that those two are amazing at. So if you definitely like Death Note, is one you should check out. You may think that it makes no sense because they're completely different plots, but you will definitely, I think, enjoy it if you like Death Note. So I think if you like action and are also just interested in manga in general, it's one you should read to find out how the manga industry works.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually really loved that last week. We were told that many people have spoken up and said that this is a very accurate depiction of what the manga industry is like, because then when reading it, it was like a million times more interesting, I think, because I was able to be like, whoa, I had no idea that was like that, or like, whoa, this is so complicated and complex and there's so many gears and like, and you're right, the characters are just great. There's a lot of hope in this manga, I think. It's just the whole time I was in a good mood, the whole time reading it, and I like that we get to follow. I like any story that has a lot of time to it. So like you follow characters from an age where they're very confused about who they are and watch them grow up. And I've liked that process so far, and I'm excited to watch them grow up even more and see how everything turns out. And yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I agree with that. Daisy?
This is probably my favorite manga, and this was the first manga I ever finished.
Oh!
I love Bakuman, and I think that if you care at all about wanting to know how manga works, like as well in the background, as well as the hopes and feelings of just mangaka and rookies and even published mangakas, you'll love Bakuman, because it's done by one of the greatest teams that we've ever seen in manga, and it's just, I would say it's done almost perfectly. So that's what I gotta say.
So we all recommend it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yoku thinks the same too.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Thanks,
Beautiful.
Yoku.
Awesome. So that is as spoiler free as this manga pod is going to get to. You get 4 recommendations. One is a ghost recommendation. But you also just highly recommend that you go and read it, and you don't want to be spoiled for it. So if you don't care about spoilers, feel free to stick around with us. Otherwise, who wants to do the 5 countdown? Don't do it. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Nizumo's God.
I was wondering who you were gonna say. I was trying to figure out somebody, but I couldn't decide. I couldn't.
It has to be Nizumo. I mean,
Nizumo is pretty much, he is pretty much. I'm gonna dive right in. I'm gonna talk about him real quick.
Okay.
I love his character.
Before we dive right in, for an update of the Indiegogo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is important. Yes.
We have an update about Indiegogo. We are currently at 91%. We have a little over $400 to go, and if we make it at the end of this manga pod, I may sing for you.
Go!
$400.
Go!
400.
Do it. So awesome. We're all so excited. It's crazy. It's only been a week. You guys are amazing. That's awesome.
It's
Thank
incredible.
you. Thank you all so much.
Now we get to all be a team at Anime Expo and
live stream and do cosplay and go Art Alley.
Yeah, and we'll keep you guys up to date, obviously, on panel, like what's going on with the panel and when the panel is and all that stuff. So
yeah, still waiting to hear back from Anime Expo, but should be hearing back soon. Just really excited about it. So
Anime Expo, get on that shit, yo.
Look, if they say no, I'm gonna flip a bitch, because
flip a bitch.
I'm gonna send them a screen cap of our Indiegogo and be like, people love us, okay? Just give us a panel. And then I'm gonna vomit on their table and leave. That's the plan. It's a really bad plan. So Anime Expo just
want you to puke on them.
We're like, oh god, I guess we better give them a panel, jeez.
Oh, she feels so active.
Let's just put them in the cafeteria. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we're just in the cafeteria.
Hey, it's the best place because we could just go and get food when we're hungry.
True.
Wonderful.
Anyway, what were you saying, Erin, before I rudely interrupted?
I was just gonna say, what was I gonna say? Nizuma. What I loved about him is when he was first introduced, you were like, this cocky little shit. I'm not gonna like him. And then like 2 chapters, whatever later, you're like, this guy is adorable.
He's so precious.
So precious, and he's so sweet, and I love him. And when he said that he loved their manga, I was like, oh my god, I love you so much, because he's not actually like this conniving dick. He's just doing manga, just doing it.
Because he does it because he loves it, and that's it. It's like, when what is it? When they're doing the whole meeting thing, right? And they're just like, you can make better manga, and he's just like, oh shit, okay, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
You know, and he listens, and I'm just like, Nizuma, and I felt exactly the same with him. I hated him when I saw him in like pretty much every instance. And when I go back and rewatch the manga or reread the anime,
swap.
Swap those. Yep. And then
you swap those, whatever.
Swap did perfect.
I'm always like, why do I like this guy? And then we get to like those chapters, I'm like, that's why I like that guy.
Yeah. Oh, I just like, yeah, ever since that whole interaction when he came into the office, into like the editor's office, and he was just so like, he wants them to succeed. Like, he wants to be their friend and wants them to succeed and wants them to be rivals, but also wants them to be friends. And I'm just like, oh, you're so, just like, I don't know. He's a character type that I always really like. That sort of character that's just like, that doesn't have a filter in like a good way. Is just like, these are my feelings right now. Like, and like, there's nothing you can say, because it's just like, I'm completely honest about all of my feelings always. This is just, here you go. Here's everything. And I love that that's who he is, because everybody built him up as like this asshole genius who's just like making manga at 16, and then you just realize that he's just a sweet dude that really loves manga. And yeah, he gets cocky, but he's 16, right? Yeah. Like, I just love that.
And he's kind of
he even said it himself. He was like, everyone calls me a genius. I didn't know what to think about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me arrogant. I'm sorry. I was like, I can't.
So then it's like, did he not mean about if he becomes number 1, he wants them to cancel something? Was he just like testing them? Was that a test, or was he just like, I don't really know.
They never got that in writing anyway, so they keep every time they bring that up, I'm like, you never like wrote up a contract being like, yeah, no problem, you can totally just cancel a manga once you're number 1. I'm just like, why is this an issue?
Like, it's not going to be an issue later on. It's not gonna be. Yeah, I adore him. I agree with you. Like, the blunt character is just so fantastic, because they're so endearing. Like, if they're written right, like, some people, like, if they're written flat, like, they can be written very flat without enough of a spark of personality, where that way they just become a dick. But when they're written as endearing as Nizuma was, it makes him like very enjoyable character
and lovable.
He's adorable. I just wanted to like, when he was like cheering them on when they were learning about the gold cup was
yeah.
When he was
the gold
like,
future cup.
Yay, good job.
And I also
I love his like little bursts of English as well. It's so much funnier in the anime, because there's this okay, I'm done.
What? Oh, you can't.
You were gonna spoil a thing.
Were you gonna be a rotten bacon butt?
No, what rotten bacon butt?
What I really like is that Nizuma is a really good juxtaposition to our main characters, because our main characters are so overly analytical about everything and like want to pinpoint like how to make everything perfect and work hard and be the best. And Nizuma is just like, I like to draw. But he's starting to get wrangled into like understanding the industry too, and it's fun watching all of them progress and like grow.
And grow,
yeah.
That's something that's crazy, is like the character development, but also just the pacing of the manga. Like, stuff goes, it's been like 2 years, like almost 2 years in the time span that we read, right? Like,
yeah,
a
they
year
started
and a half,
off in
2
like,
years.
I think it was the middle of middle school, and now they're near the end of high school.
Well, 9th grade, yeah. And so it's like the time, but it goes so quickly, but it makes sense. Like, the pacing of it makes sense, because it's like, they can't just do it in a day. They can't do it in a week. Like, they have to do, like, 2 weeks. Okay, if it's 2 weeks and they do, like, 10 of them, that's 20 weeks. And so it's just, like, it made sense, the pacing of it, and it didn't make it feel super fast, but it was also it felt like it was giving us enough of an idea about how long the stuff was going to take without it dragging. Like, it never felt like it was dragging.
There is
Like-
no Namek taking like 40 episodes for 5 minutes.
This planet's gonna explode in 5 minutes.
Sorry, let me go to the toilet and just watch this tree burn.
I think that the only thing about this manga that I don't know. Okay, let me start this over. So I'm not entirely on board, and I never am with the with love at first sight tropes, or like young love that lasts forever and it's still perfect once you've grown up and turned into an adult and like all of that sort of thing. And I keep wondering, because we are following them as they grow up, and I'm like, part of me is like, this has been so mostly drama free, and I really like that, but at the same time, like, I want to see that depth and growth in them, where like they have to wrangle with the fact that they're adults, and is this actually a feasible thing, and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Have an adult relationship and not like a childlike relationship.
The entire time, like, I think that relationship was my least favorite part
Yeah.
of what we read, just because I don't like maybe when I was like 14, I was like, oh, it's so cute, they are gonna be together forever. But like right now, I'm like, I understand like the motivation, it feels really good, but it's a sweet gesture and very romantic, but like it doesn't, in the long run, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't appeal to me at all. And like, just that they don't talk to each other, they never hang out, like
let's keep it innocent and pure, and then we'll get married. And I'm like, no.
So I'm like, maybe it's like trying to talk about how that's like the idea of like staying pure until you're married, and like how the troubles that can come along with that. Like, I don't know, that might be looking way too deep into it, but like, that's the flimsiest part of the manga right now, is that like it felt like this is a really sweet way to start the manga and give them a really strong motivation, but it hasn't, like, that just feels like they'll bring it up and I'll be like, oh yeah, that was the thing. Like, I forget about it because it just feels like a completely unnecessary motivation, like part of the story now. I don't know if that's just me.
See, although I did like the fact that we had like that relationship, and then we've got Takaki and
Neo!
Yeah, they're cute.
what's her name? Kaya.
so-
At the same time, we got them like all lovey-dovey together, and Mashiro's just like, I hate you so much,
Yeah.
you bastards.
It's like, but you're doing this to yourself. God.
Yeah!
and then on the other hand, we had like her mum and like his uncle doing that as well. So it's sort of like, that's the beta version of the relationship, and now they got like phones and emails. They can actually probably communicate like
And
properly.
they don't!
Yeah.
They really don't. I don't know. It's just like that part, that whole like plot twist too. I was like, dang, it wasn't that. Yeah, it was fun. That's cool.
See,
Oh, I thought it was
I'm
her
gonna pull a
mom.
Yoki.
Uncle,
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
pull
was
a
just like,
Yoki here and say it becomes a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll also say it's funny because in the anime, like in the first season of the anime even, they kind of extend the whole relationship thing as well and make it more drama filled, and it's kind of like,
Aw, boo.
So it's kind of funny listening to you guys be like, oh, there's no drama here, we want more drama, and I'm just like,
I don't know if I want more drama,
I
though.
don't want drama. I just want
to know that they're gonna explore the depth of like becoming an adult and realizing that that's not a legitimate relationship.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it can work out, but you know,
Yeah,
you need to know somebody, and they don't actually know each other. You know,
see, it's funny because like in the industry over there, if you're like becoming a voice actress or an idol or whatever, if you have a boyfriend, that's the end of your
you're
career.
out. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you're gone. You know, like you've lost pretty much everything. So I do kind of understand the fact that she's in love with him, but they don't want to see each other because that she wants to firstly become a proper idol, and she doesn't want to have like paparazzi photographing people coming out of like hotels, because that has actually happened over there.
And they they have to like they get publicly shamed.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know if you remember the AKB 48 incident.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
It was
Do
so
you remember
sad.
that, Jojo?
Um, Which is the situation where a girl got photographed coming out of a hotel and then had to like shave all of her hair off?
That was one of the AKB.
Okay,
Yeah. And then she cried on a video or something.
And
Yeah.
she like apologized and felt so and I was like, I don't know.
You
like,
shouldn't have to apologize,
there's
but
a
that's our
huge
culture.
there's a huge cultural difference. There is,
Yeah.
but yeah, from our culture, I was like, I know, like you shouldn't have to do that.
And then on the other hand, you've got Mashiro wanting to become manga, and if you guys have seen like the schedule, they had I think it was like not a fate schedule, but it was a schedule for a mangaka. I can't remember which one it was, but basically it was a full schedule of what his like work flow is all each week, and it's mental.
Yeah.
He has like 2 hours sleeps a day.
That's why their health is like so bad.
It's mental, and I'm just like, wow. And if you had a girlfriend, that would ruin that entire thing, and that's why we had that whole scene where Mashiro was going like, "You've spending too much time with Kaya, you know, you can't do that."
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking back to that. Like when I was first reading it the first time, I was like, Mashiro, what the F's wrong with you? You know, he's allowed to spend time with his girlfriend. But looking back on it now, I'm just like, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's very, I mean, I understood, like, how, what?
What is that sound? Oh, is that a bird?
What sound?
Is it going like,
Is that a bird outside your window?
it is.
I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like losing my mind. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
No, I couldn't hear it very well, so I thought it might be my computer, and I took it off, and it like legit is like.
It's loud, right? I was like, it sounded like somebody was like clicking their mouse right next to the microphone, and I was like, what is happening? What's going on?
It's either a bird or a bug. It's one of the two.
I can't hear it.
Really? Oh my
It's real loud. It is real loud.
It's all the squish. It's all the squish right here.
It must be. Yeah, maybe you're good
amplifying
headphones.
stuff.
Do I need more squish?
You're really good headphones. But yeah, no, it's like so rigorous. Like I had an idea. Like I'd read and I'd heard about how rough and how little sleep and like especially people who are published weekly, like how hard it is, even with assistance. But just reading this, I was like, damn, like it's so hard. You understand, like not that many people make it. Like they were saying, like gamblers, like the gambling thing. Like not the amount of mangaka who can survive off their earnings is slim.
Yeah.
Like even ones that have been like top of the charts like from year to year, like it's very slim. It's hard.
When I was reading it, I was like, man, no wonder Clamp goes on hiatus all the time. Like that's a team. Like that's another one of those like teams that's trying to make manga together, and it's like, how does that work? How do you guys stay afloat? Although, I mean, they've been quite successful. But like even on the, not even about the money, but even about just like personal health, I understand a lot better, I think, why so many mangakas take like huge breaks just to be like, I need to feel like a human again, so
I need some sleep.
Yeah, I need to sleep a little.
That's why it's so funny when you have like Oda, when you like think about One Piece and Oda, that he hasn't stopped since he started in the 90s.
It's crazy.
Like it was funny. They had a scene. I don't remember which where it was, but they were talking about like 3 mangas that came with Hunter x Hunter. Mm-hmm. One of those was One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Yeah, and before that, wasn't he an assistant on Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's basically all he did. He
Nuts.
apparently he came from school, right? Was an assistant on Rurouni Kenshin, learnt a little bit, did his one shot, which was Romance Dawn, which was One Piece, right? Brought out One Piece, right? Rookie, no idea it'd be that popular.
Exploded.
Biggest thing in the world.
He gambled! Yep.
Yeah, no, it makes me like, because we were talking about, like I was complaining about, what's her name? I can't remember her name. The mangaka of DN Angel. Like, I know I always get really frustrated when I'm like, just finish something. Or like when people get upset about like Berserk or frustrated like Berserk or Hunter x Hunter and like the hiatuses and stuff. Like it's obviously like it's very frustrating, but having read this, I'm like, I could understand why you maybe don't want to do this for a little bit.
We're gonna turn into social justice warriors for mangakas. Every time somebody like complains, we're gonna be like, hey, they work really hard, okay? It's really tough in that industry.
You have to do
sorry.
manuscript, and then you have to do a name, and then you have to go through it.
I am so sorry, but I can't agree with that with Togashi.
Huh?
I can't agree with that with Togashi.
What do you mean?
The Hunter x Hunter.
I guess
He brings out like one chapter like every 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like 20-page chapter, and then he's
That's
like,
true.
it looks awful. No.
That's
No.
And the Lady with the Angel, like, it's like one of those, like, finish something. But
But
still.
please, just one thing. Yeah.
But it's, I
There's-
understand more. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, we can,
Anyways.
But, yeah, no, going back to the relationship, somebody in the chat, Xenodark, said, I think you're supposed to be suspicious of the love angle in the manga, but regardless of whether you like it, it doesn't ruin the manga, in my opinion. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think, I just hit my mic. Don't know if you guys heard that, but
No,
it was
it's okay.
it was a
We're just
hard
getting stabbed in the ears.
but I agree
My
with
ears
that.
are on fire.
Sorry. At least you can't hear the cicada going. It's fine. But no, I don't think that even if I don't really like it, like I think that's the weakest part of the manga. It doesn't ruin the manga at all for me. It like when it gets brought back up, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that's a thing. But then I get distracted by the rest of the manga that I think is fantastic.
You know what I like is that even though it feels like the two sides of the loveness, even though it feels like they're really static in that, I do like that people like Togaki at the beginning were like, yeah, let's do this for your love. And as they get older, he has started to be like, it's weird. This is weird.
Yeah.
You guys don't talk to each other. You don't, but you're getting married. This is weird. This is a weird thing. And I'm like, it is weird. Isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah. They're like not just like easily accepting because their mind, like they're growing, they're developing into adults. Like we're watching them become adults. And so you're watching like, that's something I thought was really cool is like they're all very, like they have that base character that we were introduced to at the beginning, but they've grown too. And so like the way they think about stuff is slowly evolving and slowly changing. And we're getting to watch that happen at a really realistic pace.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Like the way they're thinking about their manga, the way they're thinking about what they need to do for the manga, the way like they like kind of manipulated their own editor and like figured the stuff out. Like that was something that made me happy that happened. It wasn't just this will they part, will they not part like drama happening. It was like a chapter, 2 chapters later they realized that they were doing
I
like,
was
yeah,
so happy about that too. I was like, guys, come on, just talk to each other. And then they were like, let's talk. And I was like, oh, thank God. That happened way faster than I thought it was going to.
I love how they were so meta there as well. They're like, if this was a manga, there would have been like some big battle. But we just talked about it, so it's all fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been some long, drawn out, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, they're avoiding each other. Oh, more drama and miscommunication is happening.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank you. I was that. It's always so annoying when that happens.
I know, right?
It's just like, just bitch, you're in the same class as dog.
Just, you sit 3 desks away from one another.
I also like that we're starting to get more, like, promising mangakas and, like, old mangakas, like, coming into the storyline, too. Like, we started off with, you know, the prodigies, the, like, young, promising people, and now we're getting more, like, more glimpses into what a normal person's development into being a mangaka is, and I like that. Like with Fukuda, is that his name?
Yeah.
The
like
long-haired hat.
Long hair hat.
Pretty
Yeah.
punk dude.
Yeah.
Pretty punk dude.
I like him. And I also liked that they spent so much time talking about like whether or not his subject matter was right for Jump. Like for some reason I thought that whole conversation was interesting where they were like, this isn't really shonen, like it's too
Bloody,
old.
yeah.
I was like, oh man, it's so interesting.
Yeah, no, that's what I was, like the entire, all of the conversation about how Jump works and what goes on with how they select manga and what gets like taken out of Jump and like what comes in and the different awards. That was so interesting.
Reading surveys.
Surveys,
Yeah.
yeah.
I loved that. I loved that, like, in any other manga, those would have been the parts where you're like, oh my god, more of this boring shit. But for some reason in this one, I was, like, rapt attention during those just, like, hypercritical explanatory parts. Or it was just like, tell me how this industry works. I want to know all of it. Like, it was just so cool.
It was like you're learning.
Yeah.
You're learning from it.
I think it was really good because Bakuman sort of portrays it as something really awesome and epic and cool, and then they also have the art to go along with it because they just don't have like explain everything. They have like, oh, we have arrows here, arrows there, arrows everywhere. Like one of the biggest ones was when they were in the serialization meetings, and you think, oh, it's a meeting with people around a boardroom, who cares, you know? But they had like, oh, I don't know, so it's like this guy, and they're all really big characters and they're portrayed as such in the art. And then you had the little envelope thing with the storyboards in it.
Yeah.
And then that went to a yes, and then that went to a different thing.
Yeah.
It had like the whole flow
I
chart.
broke it down so easily.
Yeah. Like, thank you. Why can't lectures in university be this simplistic?
But I also just liked seeing different personalities of editors try to sell a person too. Like the very first guy that we heard in the serialization meeting was obviously like knew exactly what to say. You know, was like, here are the cons that you're probably thinking of, but here are the pros, and here are more pros, and here are more pros, and that's why I think that this is a good person to, you know, send through for serialization. And they were like, all right. And then the second guy who talked was like, well, I mean, like, they're like, you know, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just loved that it wasn't that we just saw one person who was really good at their job and then we moved on to the mangas that we cared about, right? Like the characters that we knew. We got to see multiple personalities of editors, like people who were good at their job, people who were bad at their job, people who were kind of new to their job. Like, that was fun for me too.
Yeah. It was fun. There was, I don't know why, I think coming off of, like, just thinking about Death Note and how you can't trust anybody, and you can't trust Kira or anybody in that series, I was just like, when they introduced their editor for the first time, I was like, he's going to take your names, and he's going to sell them.
I bet
and
that too.
your ideas are going to get stolen, and it's going to go horribly wrong. I had that, like, I was so paranoid about that for, like, 5 chapters.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I can trust this guy. But...
Yeah, and he's turned out to be, like, their biggest fan.
Yeah. But I was like...
I was really annoyed because I was like, I used to have the 4th volume of Bakuman because I've got the first 3 here. I've actually got some of the, like, up to 9, but I let a friend borrow it. PSA to anyone, don't let friends borrow anything because they won't give it back. Fucking...
I'm missing random volumes of Yu Yu Hakusho for that exact reason.
So
I used to have all of them.
Anyone.
What am I missing? I think I'm missing something. I know I have your Slayers.
Oh, yeah.
But you have my Code Geass. So
I do. That's true. We'll trade one day.
Yeah, one day. Someday.
Anyway.
We'll never.
Right, and the
Where's
art in
it
these
end
3
up?
volumes... These 3 volumes art is so much different than the other art from like the Jump magazines, because then I read like some scanlations from back then, and the art is so different. And there's this one panel, right, where he was talking about the whole detective trap and you can do this and you can just make the story while Mashiro does the art for his characters, and you can just combine them in like 2 years and it'll be amazing. And I'm like the smartest person in the world. He has this like look, like Hattori has this look, and he looks like Ryuk. And in the anime, they pulled it off perfectly. It was like this whole like Ryuk look, and I was like, oh, throwback to Death Note. The scanlations didn't have it, damn it. And I'm just
Wait, no.
Boo.
Boo. That's something that I always think is really interesting too, is how, especially now with Jump having been is digital, how like they release weekly. And so, like, Kuroko no Basuke is a really good example of this. Like, in the chapters that come out every single week, there's like no backgrounds. Like their background is very limited. But then in the volume, there's tons of detail. Like there's a ton of detail back there. But you just like having to like crank stuff out week to week, like you lose certain things. And so that was like also really interesting to see, like with their workload.
We also had Nismus talk about that too in here.
Yeah.
We had him say they're so professional because they touch up the art so much for the volumes, and here I am thinking, oh, damn it, this art's so much different.
Yeah, because like it's just so it's a crazy world, man.
Yeah,
but
dog.
I never realized.
It's a whirlwind. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, or you'll never make
You
it.
gotta have a passion.
And it's funny because what was I saying? It's funny because I always complain. Like there's like when I complained about Attack on Titan, the broadcast version being absolutely awful, and yeah, there were some parts that were basically not finished.
Yeah.
But then people are always like, oh, but all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, dude, in the broadcast version it looked horrible, but in the Blu-rays it's going to be amazing. They do the exact same thing for manga, and it's just that comparison is something you don't really see in the West either. Like unless you're George Lucas, you don't really go back to touch up your stuff, or touch down in the case of George.
Well, that's
Lucas,
because of how high demand it is and how quick they have to churn this stuff out, like the time crunch on it. Like there's like, okay, we'll just fix it. It's like when people go, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's like, okay, we don't have time to do it now. Like we know we can fix it later though. But yeah, something I was gonna say was that like I hope he brings like he comes back for a bigger role, because right now I think he's hella stupid. Like he's probably my second, like tied for least favorite thing is the musician guy who's like, well, I'm just gonna do manga so that my fans will vote
he'll
for me.
totally come back.
Obviously, I'll be popular. And I was like, this is the stupidest addition. Like, this has got to be setting something up, because right now this is dumb. Like, right now this feels really dumb to me. Like, I didn't like that part at all. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing the reasoning behind it. But at the moment, I was like, when they were like, the Color Fusical, was that his manga's name?
Yeah.
They were like, the mangaka of Color Fusical, and then it like revealed to this guy, but the reveal of him was really weird because like I had no fucking idea who he was. Like if they'd brought up the musician earlier on in the manga, I feel like his reveal would have been more but for this it was just like, oh, they added a guy in.
Yeah,
see,
it felt really weird.
that's one of the differences as well in the volumes. They actually had his poster and stuff in the background.
Really?
Yeah, and in the anime they had I remember they had some girls walking past and saying, "Oh, I really like that new single by Koeiji," you know. So you always heard about this guy, and you're just like, "Oh, okay, must be a thing eventually," and he was.
Maybe I missed that if they did say that in the Scanlation versions, but
I missed it too, so I don't think it was really.
I don't think it was there. It wasn't nearly as enforced as. You're dumb.
I would assume that he's going to be the legitimate asshole who learns the value of hard work, because we don't have that person yet. We have a lot of like assholes who are already hard workers, and people that you think are assholes and turn out to not be assholes but still need to learn the value of hard work, right? We don't have that standard character that needs to be there, who's just like, whatever, I'm just gonna skirt by my good looks and my fame, and then everybody's like, that's not how it works. You gotta work hard and you gotta love it. And then he like finds the love for it deep inside his heart.
Yeah,
you know,
that better be him, because otherwise I hate him right now. I'm just saying, based on what we read, I don't like him, and he's dumb and he's not necessary. Just saying.
I bet he'll have a story, whether
He
for
will.
better or for worse. He'll have something.
Yeah, he'll have something. At the moment, he's stupid. But,
Stupid butt face.
Agree.
oh, what was I gonna say? Something else I was gonna bring up was the parallels with the two mangakas of Bakuman and like Death Note, like the parallels of them doing Death Note. I think it's starting to get touched upon, because it's like, because Death Note was not a battle action manga.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And it ran in Shonen Jump. And so I was like, is that what they're going to start talking about? Because they started talking about how, like, the difference is if, like, two people like it, like, you're going to play to those two people, because you're still going to get, like, people to like it and just stuff like that. And I was like, oh, is Death Note, is this going to be, like, a parallel to their IRL story with Death Note? Which I think is I'm really hoping.
See, one of my favorite stories coming from Jump is the Toriyama one, like Akira Toriyama and Dragon Ball Z, because he initially wanted to finish Dragon Ball, which was the manga. Dragon Ball Z is called Dragon Ball over in Japan.
Yeah.
And after the time skip, they brought it over here as Dragon Ball Z because it was like the same as the anime. I don't know. It's like Naruto with Naruto Shippuden. You don't have the Naruto Shippuden volumes. He wanted to finish it at Frieza, and that was it. Like Frieza be the worst person in the world, but his editors said, "Dude, this is like the most popular thing in the entire world at the moment. You can't stop
keep
it."
making it, yeah.
And then he was like, "All right, fine, I'll finish it at Cell."
Nope.
Couldn't do it.
Nope.
Right? And then they were like, "Okay, you have to keep going." So it's like, oh, "Fine, I'll make Gohan the main character. I've killed Goku way too many times."
It's
I'll
true,
make
yeah,
Gohan the main
Spoiler
character.
alert for anybody who hasn't watched Dragon Ball Z, but it's real old, guys.
It's been
So
like 20 years. I mean, come on.
Goku dies.
And
Goku
then
dies a
he
lot.
goes, "Oh." And then at the end, it was just like he couldn't make Gohan the main character because no one liked him very much. So he had to bring back Goku to beat Majin Buu, and it's just like, ugh.
and then
But
there
it
was
all because
Goten and that whole thing, and
Goten did not get
lots
the
of
story
lots
he
of
deserved.
fusions were happening. And
Yeah.
Goten was
And then of course, like they wanted to keep the anime going, so they made GT without Toriyama's involvement. And Toriyama's just like, bitch, you have ruined my product. I have to come back and fix this shit.
yeah.
But then,
like,
Vegeta forever. V for
Really?
Vegeta. Oh, Vegeta's my
Bardock?
favorite character.
Bardock and Goten were my favorites.
I love Bardock. Bardock's awesome.
Bardock is the best.
They made another special with him, and it was so good.
Aw.
I need to watch it. I haven't watched that.
And they
stuff.
made one with his mum as well. That was cool.
I
They
knew
made like
about
a
the mom.
chapter.
I knew about the mom, yeah.
Yeah. But then there's also another one of my favorite stories is the Togashi story, where he made Yu Yu Hakusho, and they fudged him over so badly with that.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, give him a good contract," and then now he's got not Yu Yu Hakusho. He's got Hunter x
Hunter.
Hunter. But he's also an editor, so that kind of keeps his money.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he's editor for. Okay.
and it's funny.
Goes back to Kuroka.
It always comes
It's
back to
funny.
Kuroka.
Always.
In one of the shots, we have all the editors around the like tables and stuff, and now that's a real shot from the Shueisha headquarters, right?
Oh.
And every one of those editors are real editors.
What? That's awesome.
So like Sasaki, who is the main editor-in-chief, he's real, and he uses his Bakuman picture as his avatar on Twitter. He's at the moment at the moment he must be a promoter or something. He's now the international relations for Shueisha, who works on both Shonen Jump and Shonen Jump Alpha.
What's
That's
his Twitter?
awesome.
What's his Twitter?
I think it's I'll have to have a look. It's like Shonen Jump Sasaki or something.
Editor-in-chief. Show.
Oh, there he is. Followed by 4 people that I know.
Oh, there he is.
Deputy
Yeah, see?
Manager, Rights Department, International Publishing Division.
He just posts quote from manga, and that's it.
Don't.
They're all
play
just
games
quotes
with
from
me.
manga.
I will never lose. Frieza from Dragon Ball, episode 131, volume Z11. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah, but so they're all like real people. So I would admit, I would probably say that Togashi is probably in that picture somewhere.
Oh, that's so cool.
What? That's awesome. You're right.
So
Oh, no.
so,
Yeah.
the only like the ones that we mainly see,
Boy.
like I think Ida, and the Hattoris, like the Hattoris, I think they're different.
Oh, okay.
But I think they're like fictional ones, because you can't just be like, hey, I'm gonna use your image and I'm gonna like f over your story, ha ha ha. But
Yeah.
but I can also say that they do have real mangaka come in sometimes as well.
That's awesome.
That's dope.
That's so cool.
I know, that's what I was thinking. They're all like helping each other.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have a look. They're all friends.
Yeah, that's
And
what
they-
I
and they-
figure is like.
And
Yeah.
they do.
It's like, can I
mingle.
draw you in my manga? And they're like, sure, dog. And then they fist bump.
Text sometime.
Yeah.
Or email, since apparently they don't do texting in Japan. It's just all email all the
Yeah,
time.
what the? I don't understand.
That's something.
Emoji, guys. Emoji.
Emoji.
Oh, we didn't post. I didn't post the Shonen Jump Sasaki thing, so I'll post that in
Oh,
the chat.
well, I'm following him
Yeah, me too.
on there.
I want constant manga quotes.
That's what I was just
Give them
thinking.
to me.
Oh my god, I am retweeting this one right here. Woohoo! Serves you right, cretin. Oh yes, you got careless. Majin
Majin
from
Buu.
Dragon Ball, episode 311, volume Z26.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, they actually over in Japan, because if you're reading the official Viz volumes, they call them storyboards and final drafts. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the official names that they use in Viz. In Japan, they call them names and episodes.
Name an episode, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call,
That's
like,
what
the
I was
episode
thinking.
is the actual chapter itself,
Why do they call
and
it a
the
name?
name is the storyboard. So
That's what I was wondering. Why do they call it a name? I kept pronouncing it Name in my head.
Yeah,
that's how you pronounce it. That's how you pronounce it.
that's
Is
what
it?
I figured it, because I was like, it's not name like what we think of the word name.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
It's funny because I've always called it a name, because I'm like, oh, it's just the name for storyboard, over there. But then I watched the official subtitled version of Bakuman from Madman, and they called it storyboards, and I'm just like,
That makes so much more sense, right?
yeah. And then I
Yeah.
reread it in a Viz, because I actually read it all scanlated, and so this is probably one of my first times I've actually read the actual volumes.
Oh, cool.
So when I got through the art and all that sort of stuff newly, and I'm just like, oh,
Woo!
Ah.
I can't wait till we talk about art properly, because I've got so much stuff to talk about.
Should we talk about art?
Let's just talk about art, yeah. Go, Daz.
Okay, let's bring out the volumes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. In the actually, hold on. Before we do that, there was actually something that I just reminded me. At the start of every volume, they have author's notes.
Oh, I love authors.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah. And all right, here we go. This one's from Obata, who I think's the author. No, the Obata is the drawer. Right?
Yeah,
and they
Obama's
say,
an illustrator.
yeah, the title of this manga is Bakuman. It means Bokuhatsu, explosion, Bokuchi, gamble, and Baku, an animal that supposedly eats dreams. It has many meanings to it, and I think it's a very fun title.
Aw.
I was wondering. That was one of the things I was when I was reading. I was like, I wonder what the title of this manga means.
All right, so let me find something. I want to show you guys Hattori
No.
because. Okay.
But Mom, let me eat it.
Why do
Let me eat it,
cats
Mom!
want
Let's
to
see
just
if we
rub
get
their
it.
face all over this microphone, and I don't understand.
Mom.
Now.
All right. In the scanlations that we're reading, like everyone kind of had a really plain kind of looking face, right? And that's a little bit understandable for timing. But if you actually look here, if you can see that at all very well,
Yeah.
all right, it looks very Japanesey.
His face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
That's kind of what it looked like on the scanlated. Maybe
It
not.
kind of
quite
looked
as
like
much
that, but it wasn't that.
as defined.
Yeah. All right. Here's a good one of Sasaki, the editor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a good one.
That's definitely. Yeah.
Oh, and here's one. Another one. That makes him look like more Japanesey.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
The background's
you-
a little bit more detailed too.
I like that you're saying Japanesey.
Japanese.
Instead of
that's-
just
that's what
Japanese.
that's how I felt while reading it. I was like, oh wow, they actually look properly Japanese, and that's
Yeah.
something you don't really see in manga very much.
Yeah.
Now I want to get Kaya as well. Look how pretty. Look how
Aww.
pretty Miho is there.
So cute.
She's so pretty.
I feel like her lips have become less of like the defining feature of her face.
Yeah,
Like the
that's
further into the
not.
manga, yeah, because at first it was like, look at how shimmery and shiny her plump lips are, and I was like, okay,
Like that as well.
yeah, look at those
Yes,
shimmery,
there,
shiny,
very
plump
early
lips.
on, yes. It's like,
Yeah,
I'm seeing if I can find Kaya
I
anywhere.
want to see more from her because right now she's just way too like.
she has no personality really.
Not really any. Yeah.
And she
not,
says
like,
lol a lot. That's really all we know.
LOL. Lol, 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 lol. I was gonna say she seems like a little too stiff right now. A little too. Oh, there's a phrase for it. I can't figure out what it is. I don't know. But I want to see more.
One-dimensional?
One-dimensional. But there's another word for it. I can't figure out what it is though. It would have made me sound smart, but I can't get it, so it's fine. But I was gonna say I really like the expressions of the faces, especially of the two main characters. Like their expressions when they like get really intense into the manga, and just the way, the perspective of how he draws them when main dude is drawing, like the perspective of him like throwing like the pen across. It's very Kira writes in Death Note-esque.
Yeah.
And like
Those poses, just like this.
Yeah.
Like just,
it was all practice.
But
It was all
so
practice.
Cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. Yeah. So cool. I don't think I can say
so
that.
cool.
So cool.
No, I totally felt that way. All of the color pages were really intense. There was just like this crazy intensity to them.
And they chose the chapter.
We're really good with our
the
words.
color pages as well perfectly. Because I hate it when manga just use a color page and just make this really nice illustration. I'm just like, no, you have to be part of the story. And Bakuman does that. They make it part of the story and then make the really cool scenes even more cooler. Here is Kaya. There, if you can see her.
Yeah.
All right. If you actually notice in the scanlations, her lips aren't as defined.
It's too fuzzy to tell.
Yeah, it's too fuzzy. That's just make it. Yep, perfect.
Worse,
Good.
worse, way
There we go.
worse.
Mwah! I
Yeah.
All right.
Kissed
Like
her.
she's got like, because in the anime they sort of like do a mix like of the scanlated and the volumes, and her lips are quite larger, and she's not meant to be kind of, I know it's gonna sound bad, but she's not supposed to be very attractive. She's supposed to be like your average Japanese girl.
Yeah.
And I thought in the
Who's great at karate and every sport.
Yeah.
God, I love how badass she is.
Me too.
She's so cute.
But in like the scanlation, she sort of looks like she's got sort of like this samey face, and it's kind of like she just looks like a manga character. But in the volume, she actually looks like how she's supposed to look, and I just think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, while you've got like Miho, who is like this glimmering, shiny, oh my gosh, I'm in love with her myself.
Yeah.
You know, while reading it, you've got her, which you kind of like about, but then she gets cooler as she gets on.
Yeah. That's one thing that I'm surprised we haven't touched on more. This is a little bit off topic, but
go ahead.
I'm surprised that the manga hasn't touched more on the idea of people being disappointed in you wasting your talents, quote quote quote. Because you know, like when you have that friend who's an incredible singer, and you're like, oh my gosh, I hope you do music forever, and they're like, I have no intention of being a singer. Like that's not my passion, you know.
Yeah.
And we've had so many instances of that with like Tagaki is incredibly smart, had the best grades ever, and was like, I want to be a mangaka. And there hasn't been really anybody being like, you shouldn't do that. You're really smart.
Like his parents that did that. That was like the whole backstory on it.
But his parents, like, they didn't really show him after he told his mom that he wasn't going to be her plaything anymore. He was like, no,
yeah, that was like a weird flashback, and that's
and
it.
then that was it.
No, but he said that his parents don't approve.
Did he? I don't even
Yes.
remember that.
That part.
It was like a throwaway thing.
Okay, yeah, that's what I think what
But-
we're saying is that it's not more of a like factor, like it's not explored as much as I would expect it to be.
Yeah, and then like with
yeah.
his girlfriend, his adorable sports girlfriend.
Yeah.
Miho.
Yeah,
No, not Miho.
the other one.
Miyoshi, right? That's her name. Yeah, Miyoshi.
Kaya. I call it Kaya.
Like she's incredible at sports. She's very athletic. She's, you know, excelled at karate, and explained the whole thing with like, I just stopped doing it, you know. And really the only time that we touch on anybody being maybe questioning that she isn't doing sports as a job somehow is when she's like, I wish I had a dream. And they're like, oh, what about all this stuff? And she's like, nah.
Yeah.
That's like it. And I feel like that's an element that could be explored more. I know that it's not the focus of the manga, so like it doesn't matter. But I was like, man, everybody's like, for the most part, everybody's been pretty cool about people like following their dreams. Like,
It's almost too romanticized. It's like almost too like nobody is talking about it. What?
Iwase,
Iwase,
the girl who was like, we're dating, and he was like, what?
We held hands that one time.
That's true. She was like, you're wasting your life.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna become a manga artist. Would you believe in me? And she's like, stop making manga. And I'm just like, you bitch.
Yeah. But at least like that's another like possible drama-filled thing that lasted like 2 pages.
Thank God.
Yeah. I was like, no, a love triangle, and then she was like, I'm out of here. I was like, sick. Okay.
Something that never mind.
Huh?
Oh, I was gonna say, the kiss between Kaya and Takagi. Like, I was expecting, because the chapter title of that was like a wall and a kiss was the title of that chapter, and so I was like, oh, they're gonna show them actually kiss for like the first time. It's gonna be built up, and it was just like them small in the distance of main dude like driving by on his bike, and I was like, that was anticlimactic. Like, that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was fine. It wasn't like, because it's not super necessary.
It gave you that kind of voyeuristic feel, though. You got to resonate with our protagonist.
Exactly. But yeah, no, that was one of the things that I was like, that felt like it was going to be built up. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was just like a blurred in the distance.
Yeah.
Like, oh. But yeah, back to art. I really like the character designs.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say they're not like crazy, ingenuitive, like different or anything, but I really appreciate, like, I think they fit the characters really well, and especially like when the facial expressions are drawn and the way the hair is designed, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I like Mashihiro's hair, like just the shading of it, the coloring of it, I think looks really cool.
Pretty.
Aww.
She's very pretty. She's very pretty. It is a very Wada has a very definitive art style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very like, yep, that's him. That's his. It's really good. I really like the character designs. I thought like the whole thing was really clean and polished. And something that's cool is they're doing so many different manga. Like, they have to show so many different variations of manga and art, and they did it in a way that like they all look different. Like, each mangaka's was different from the other for the most part. Like, it differentiated. And I was like, that is incredibly impressive. To like do that many different art.
And you have to think of so many manga at the same time. Like, they're like thinking, oh, what do we do for our own manga? And then what manga will they be doing for our manga?
Yeah.
You know, there's a bunch of stories in Bakuman that I'm just like, I want to read that so badly, but you can't because it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
but
it's not real. But
why?
It was really cool because the manga that they do for Himaru, who was one of the new ones that were picked up, if you remember at the end of what we've read, it's called Otter's 11, which I don't think we know. So I don't know. It depends on what you read.
Yeah.
They actually
we read
made
about
like
Otter's
a full,
11.
If you got like the full box set.
Obviously. I got really excited and I was sad.
If you get like the full box set of all 20 manga from Viz, you got your own special version, like edition of Otter's 11 that they made up.
What? That's amazing.
And I'm just like, I want that so badly. I know someone who's got it, and I'm just like, but
how many volumes are there?
Are there lots of otters? Are there lots of otters?
I haven't read it.
Do they hold hands? Do they hold hands? Are they cute? Are they otters? Are they utterly adorable?
Right. They have otter figures.
How many volumes are there?
There's about 20 or so volumes of Bakuman, but they have like a full box set, which is about 100 or so bucks. You can get all the manga at once.
Oh, that's how I got my Death Note set. Hold on.
Yeah.
Right here. Hang on.
I think it's like really cheap on Amazon at the moment as well.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking.
But while you're doing that, it's actually really cool because in the volumes, you can actually, they have Oba's storyboard, then they have Obita's storyboard, and they show you the complete page like that.
Oh, nice.
So you can see it, like, because Oba's the author, So they have their own storyboard, which is here. You can see how awful the illustrations are. Then Obita fixes it up, right? And then there's the finished page in Japanese.
Oh, that's cute.
That's so cool. Yeah, this is just gonna show this pretty.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, Bakuman.
Yeah, that's not kind of the same thing you can get.
Is $101 for 20 manga in a box.
Plus, you get a poster and Otters 11 as well.
I'm gonna have to do that because Otters.
It's like $200 to buy it here. I'm so pissed.
Oh my god.
It's so cheap.
If I bought this, Sam would come over and be like, where are you going to put this? Because my bookshelves right now are just like exploding. It's just like nonsense.
Oh my god, I googled Otters 11 and it's amazing. They're in suits.
Be careful of what you read because there will be spoilers.
Oh, okay, I'm not going any further. I was just looking at the pretty pictures. The pretty pictures. Okay, so, do we run a wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings?
Yeah.
Hey.
Someone made an actual figure of Otters 11.
What are you doing?
What? Okay, I will go first.
We didn't really talk about characters though. We should really talk about characters. Just saying.
I mean, we touched on them, like, throughout.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, we talked about them.
We talked about
Alright.
them.
Who's your favorite
That's-
character?
That's
There
it.
we go.
Favorite character. Nizuma.
I kind of love Nizuma too.
He's my favorite. Though I love the chemistry and the dynamic between the two main characters as well, between Takage and Masahiro. I love them together. I don't love them on their own, if that makes sense.
I think Takage, out of the two of them, Takage is the character with the most depth, I think. Because at first when you meet him, he comes across as like, I'm gonna be the cocky smart guy, the playful cool guy who everybody loves. But then he's like real serious, he's like real serious about manga. And I'm like, I respect that. I respect that depth,
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah. But, like, on their own, like, Masahiro hasn't incredibly gripped me yet. I think he's still kind of a little, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold with him. I don't hate him. I don't hate him at all. I do find him interesting enough. But I think I would pick Takage out of the two of them, but I like them really good together. But overall, Nizuma is my favorite character.
Yeah. I just want him to grow. I just want to see them grow more.
I like Hattori.
Yeah, Hattori's pretty great.
Yeah.
He's probably
He's
my
really
favorite.
good, yeah. He's pretty fantastic. Now that I know that I can trust him. First I was like, you shady. You're shady.
I don't know about this guy. It's because he's
I just
Ryuk.
think he's so cool.
That's why.
What?
It's because he's
really,
Ryuk.
yeah.
You're just like, nah.
Ryuk,
Nah.
no. I don't trust no Ryuk. He likes apples.
He
I
does.
want him to, at one point, just to eat an apple. He just needs
Yeah.
to eat an apple.
Oh, haven't we seen that part yet? Oh, okay.
Oh, rotten
Yes.
bacon butt.
Nah, you're joking. Who's your favorite character, Daza?
I just said I like Hattori.
Oh, you did. That's right. Sorry. I
Yeah.
blanked out. I started thinking about Ryuk and apples. I completely missed that.
Wait, what happened to the screens?
What? What's wrong? Oh no, we're all shifty. What
I fixed it.
happened?
I fixed it, guys.
Hey. So,
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
But,
Sorry.
but yeah, I like Hattori because
He's
I
great.
don't know, he seems like the one that breaks the most ground, and he's the one who really pushes them. I think without him, the story couldn't progress as well as it has so
Yeah.
I
far.
agree with that. Yeah.
I think he's probably if I was gonna say if it was a team, it would be a 3-member team, and Hattori would be the 3rd member.
Yeah.
I
agree
think
with
that there's a lot of instances where I hear about an editor that really harms a manga in some parts, and or really doesn't let him do. Like we had Koiji's, and then we had the other Hattori, the Afro
Yeah.
dude hair Hattori, and I just think that it gets a really good. He's really spot on with what he does, and it's believable. It's not like he makes mistakes as well, which I think is really cool. And it's not like, oh wow, he's just like super god manga editor. He's like proper head on shoulders manga editor guy, which I think is awesome.
And he stays there late for them, and he constantly updates them, and he encourages them. Yeah, I think he's really good. I agree that they are definitely a 3-man team. Like, without him, there's a lot. If they got paired with any other editor, it would not have worked.
Yeah,
really as well. No.
And I do like the constant references to Death Note and other manga that they do have.
Like
in the manga.
right off the bat.
Yeah.
We got a Death Note pun immediately.
Immediately, yeah. Thought it was your Death Note.
Yeah, it's like
And there it is.
It's like Pufferfish X said in the chat. If they didn't say anything about Death Note, there would be some sort of instant like fan being like, "Why didn't you talk about it?" Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Cool.
Awesome. Cool. Final thoughts and ratings.
Oh man. This one's gonna be so hard to rate, I think.
Yeah. Dazza, do you know? Go first.
From what we have read of Bakuman so far, there are definitely parts where it can improve, I think, especially with the drama angle, definitely with like Koigi and stuff like that. I mean, what's the point in Koigi? I mean, it's just like, it seems unnecessary, and but like if I was going to do it on pure art alone, it would be like something where like a 9 or a 10. But all up, I think probably an 8 is probably the best thing I can give it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just with the story where it is so far and the characters, like I can say that most certainly it does get better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, but I hate it when I'm like, oh, it gets better, so I'm going to give it an 8. No, I give it an 8 just on what we've read, because it's not the best it could be.
Yeah.
Like in terms of manga, and I do love the references, I do love the learning and everything like that, but I just think from an pure objective standpoint, it's an 8. But from my own personal love of Bakuman, I'll give it definitely a 10.
A 15.
You know,
15 out of 10.
15 out of 10.
I give it a 50 out of 10.
Oh,
damn!
Busting out the big guns.
Because I just love it, and it's the first manga I had ever. I finished reading it weekly, and I was like there when it finished. And I'm just like, it's just so far.
Oh man.
I think I am also going to give it an 8. Because I loved the art. I really did enjoy the character progression and what we've gotten, but I also just found it to be an incredibly interesting concept, executed very intelligently. And I think this is the most educational manga that we've read on MangaPod, and it was done in a really fun, exciting way. And the characters are just also fantastic, and it's really fun to watch them grow and watch them get closer to their dreams, and just seeing how everything unfolds, and also learning what more and more of this entails, and just watching how they come up with the ideas to get past that. And just the creativity of the entire story is very, very cool too. So I'm going to give it an 8 because critically I do think it's a very well-paced, very thought-out manga thus far, and I am very excited to see what has been set up and is going to be explored more in the future. So 8.
I've been trying to decide whether I want to give it an 8 or an 8.5. Because
do what your heart says.
Go follow your heart. Gotta be true to your heart. 98
follow the
degrees
heart
wants
of the
you to follow your
cards, or in
heart.
this case, the manga.
Gotta be true to your
well,
heart.
like on one side, I found almost every element of this manga fascinating. Like just the fact that it follows the manga industry, I think was so great, and really made it so that we understood exactly what was going on. It didn't feel like they were giving you information and you just lost it immediately. Like I've retained everything that they taught us in what we read, and I think that that's incredible, and that takes a lot of skill Obviously, the art is beautiful. I love the characters. I really like where it's going. But on the other hand, I want to see their age more. I want to see them grow and notice a difference, not like a drastic difference, but a difference that makes sense for their age and what's happening to them, and becoming adults and needing to act like it because they're insisting on being in the world of having a job, like a legitimate hardworking job. And I want to see that more than just, we didn't sleep, so we got bags under our eyes. Like, you know.
There's more depth that can be explored.
Absolutely. And there's so much more left to read, so I'm sure that happens. It's just, it's a very, very strong start for a manga, and I was sucked in from the very beginning, and I didn't want to stop reading. So, oh God, I thought that if I talked that much, that maybe eventually I'd be like, I know what score I want to give it. I'll give it an 8.5. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. So
you go, girl.
And Erin, we had the chat saying this isn't the only educational manga we've read.
I didn't say it was the only. I said I thought it was the
best.
Most
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying. Yeah, no. I mean, we've read a lot of.
So,
I mean, Kiss X Sis taught me a lot about ciscest.
Legitimately, Silver
Wincest.
Spoon. Silver Spoon was a good informational manga.
Yeah, Silver Spoon was fantastic.
Yeah, no, this isn't the only educational one. I feel like this is the one that we need to read more of Silver Spoon. I don't know why we haven't. But yeah, no, I think this was the best educational one that we read because it was presented in a way that was very understandable, even though there was a lot of explanation to it. But like you said, like you retained all of it. Like, and I learned so much about an industry that I had no idea all of this went into. That's what I meant. So
they should make a Bakuman for like as you said, university lecturers should use Bakuman as an example for teaching. They should just like write really awesome manga and just be like, all right, guys. You know, you got like 1,000, like over here, it costs like $1,000 for a course for a semester. I don't know what it is over there, but it's like, here's your $1,000. Here's like a bunch of manga. At the end, you're gonna have an exam. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be the best.
They should have one about teaching Japanese.
I'm a teacher. I'm gonna become a teacher, and my entire course set is just gonna be manga.
Just manga.
Just manga. Screw Shakespeare. Nobody needs Shakespeare. You're writing essays on Kuroko no Basuke.
Yeah.
Tell me what their hair color
What is your OTP? Discuss.
Tell me how you
I would legitimately do that. If I was like a literature teacher.
No, I'm not joking. Like I'm
Write a fan fiction of the first date between this character and this character. Yeah. Choose an alternate universe where their romance could have worked out.
I legitimately did a book report when I was in year 11 on Haruhi Suzumiya, or one of the light novels.
Amazing.
I did one on anime. Like, not a book report, but like a presentation. Like a big storyboard, like, this is the history of anime. Now here's some clips and examples of different ones.
In a creative writing class that we had to write a 10-page original story. And I wrote essentially Rumpelstiltskin, except all of the characters were Fushigi Yugi characters. I just replaced everybody. I just replaced everyone. It was good. I got an A+ on that shit.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was
That
good.
is
Oh, and if you guys want to know, they're making a live action they've already done that. Bakuman.
I actually enjoyed the live action Death Note movies.
Yeah,
I
me
did
too.
And I've seen the casting for Bakuman and the directors, and I'm just like, this is actually going to be really good.
Did you see it on the Shonen Jump Saki's Twitter? Because he tweeted about it. Too.
Actually, no, I saw it when they press released it before then.
Oh, well, I'm just saying,
so
I'm going to go retweet that shit, and you'll see it on feed.
What if he plays himself?
Actually, I have got knowledge, and I'm not supposed to say this, but I don't care. I've got a friend.
Never keep it in if you're not supposed to say it. We don't want to
NDAs.
It's not NDAs. It's not NDAs. I have a friend who knows some people at Jump, and who's actually like tied in their friendship circles. I'm like, you bitch. But he says that some of the editors might be playing themselves.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like, that's so cool.
That's amazing.
Dope. That's awesome.
That's dope.
Like, on one hand, I'm just like, that's so cool. Then I'm like, can they act?
Yeah. That is the concern, right?
It doesn't matter.
All I want to see is Tagashi in one of the editor's rooms, and just like sitting there doing nothing, playing Idol Master.
Yeah. Just
Yes!
You know, that'd be a good reference,
God.
like IRL.
That needs to be in
And
there.
then all he has to do is write in saying, "Oh, sorry, I couldn't do the last chapter of Hunter x Hunter. I was busy like in the Bakuman film, right? Playing video games." And we'll be like, "No."
Oh, I guess this one's legitimate.
I'll feed you when we're done. I love you.
Okay, yes, so that is it for our discussion of Bakuman, unless anybody else has anything else they would like to add.
No.
Okay, Deza, would you give us the spoiler-free description for the manga that we are reading next week?
I shall.
Then chat, you get to guess.
All right. A millennium has passed since 7 Days of Fire, an apocalypse war that almost wiped out human civilization. Since then, the earth is covered with the ever-growing sea of corruption, a vast forest of fungi that secretes, that's the word, poisonous, secretes, yes, that poisonous miasma, whatever, and invasive spores. This is a long word that I don't like, along with large and deadly insects inhabited within. In order to fight for more habitable lands unpolluted by the sea of corruption, the kingdom of Torumekia has declared war against the Dorak Empire.
Dorak.
The main character, princess and heir of a small city-state named also something, which pledges alliance with Torumekia, is now forced to join Torumekia and invade the Dorak Empire. The war will change her life and the fate of the human race forever. Wahahaha.
Yes. Let's see if they
No.
can guess it.
It's clearly Lucky Star, guys. Jeez.
What did I post for the link? Today. Oh, I remember what I posted.
What'd you post? I don't know. I don't know what you posted.
In the entire world. Yep, they got it. They got it. You're
Woo!
getting it. Yay! How do you pronounce it? Noska?
Noska.
Noska. Yeah.
That's how I
Yes.
pronounce it. I don't know if that's
Yeah, I
right or
pronounce
not.
it Noska. I don't know if, yeah.
I pronounce
So
it
we are
Nausicaa.
Oh,
Nausicaa.
okay.
Get out of here with your pretentiousness. We are reading Noska, Valley of the Wind, volumes 1 through 3, chapters 0.1 through 3. I don't quite understand what that means, but
We'll find out.
we'll find out. So that is what we are reading next week.
Sick.
Holla. Awesome. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and shout out our stuff really quick, and then we will say bye. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. You are here on my YouTube channel. I do anime reviews and anime first impressions, and I also do a lot of mental health awareness videos, plus all of the previous manga pods are hosted here on my channel in a playlist, so you can go and check those out if you missed any other manga pods. If you'd like to find me on any other social media site, I'm HappiLeeErin all across the everything, all over the everywhere. I use Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram most often, to which I talk about food and otters and anime, Kuroko things. Stuff gets there, I retweet stuff a lot. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Come say hi.
I'm Dodger. I have 2 channels, youtube.com/presshardtocontinue, where I normally do gaming stuff. Right now I'm actually on a 2-week hiatus and working on a bunch of stuff. So, you don't gotta go there yet. Next time. But my other channel, youtube.com/dexteritybonus, I do a daily vlog for 10 minutes every day and drink coffee and talk about my cats and my life, and it's fun. So feel free to come and see if you're down for that. On all the social medias, I'm at dexbonus, DEXBONUS, and I'm the one who is hosting this manga pod, so I'm sorry for all of the times that suddenly faces turned into Skype windows. I was like, oh
How
no,
could you?
oops. Oops.
How
Oops.
Hey,
I forget
listen.
that I'm in charge. And then I'm like, oh, I have all these notifications. They're bothering me. I should get rid of those. And then I'm like, oh no, go back to the call. So, sorry about that.
How dare you?
Daza?
Oh, Yoko's in the chat.
Yoku!
Where? God damn it, Yoki. Oh, now I've got a YouTube error. Okay.
Oh,
Hi.
no.
I'm the Dazn for Nippon. If you don't want to go to press heart and continue because you can't at the moment, you can go see my channel and go subscribe over there. I do stuff like reviews and first impressions of anime. And I do a weekly show called What We've Watched, where we all come together with a drink and talk about what we've been watching. I should really actually watch some anime this week because I haven't done that yet.
No, Daza, no.
Daza.
Oh, that's bad. Anyway, I also have a second channel where I do gaming stuff, and that's called the Doc Dazzler. I'm at the moment doing a Dazlock run of Pokemon Heart Gold. Oh yeah, yeah. It's like Nuzlocke, but it's called Dazlock. Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought it was funny.
Oh, bye.
Also, you can find me on Twitter at Doc Dazzler, where I tweet about the cat sleeping on my face. I'm also on Tumblr, which is Dr. Dazzler. I'm also on Instagram, which is Dr. Dazzler, Hummingbird, Dr. Dazzler, and all that kind of awesome stuff.
Awesome. We are missing our Mr. Yokorama, but you can find his stuff at Yokorama Game Talk, where he does not talk about video games, he talks about anime. And he also has a second channel called Yokorama News, where he does not talk about news, but he does lots of anime first impressions, so he sometimes talks about news on there. But he has those two channels, and he also has all of his social media, which is down in the description down there. Most of it is Yokorama, except for Twitter, which is Yokorama Talk. So all of our links are in the description down below, where you can check out all of our stuff down there. Also down there is a link to our MangaPod subreddit, where you can find a schedule for all of the upcoming weeks of MangaPod, as well as a recommendation thread for manga you might like to see us discuss. And there's also all sorts of discussions happening over there. There's also a link down there to our iTunes and also to our Indiegogo, which is happening right now. And we are so close to being funded because you guys are absolutely amazing. We're at 92%, I believe.
Yeah.
91%. 91%. But that's totally fine. That is so cool. We have 12 days left on that. You guys are absolutely outstanding and really, really cool and fantastic. And we love you so much. Thank you all so much who have donated to that. And we're all really excited to come together and be Anime Expo, be MangaPod together as one. As Anime Expo. That's what I was trying to say. You know. So yes, thank you all so much for joining us this week. We really appreciate you coming and joining and watching us talk about Bakuman. Next week we'll be here, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on HappiLeeErin on YouTube. We'll be discussing Nazca Valley of the Wind, volumes 1 through 3, chapters 1 through 3, volumes 1 through. You got it. It's great. You got it. Yeah.
Aww.
Wait, are we gonna end?
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
My cat just walked out the door.
I don't have a cat,
Literally.
so beautiful. Yeah, there it is.
Kitty.
Love it. Thank you all so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I don't have the button.
I know you don't. I just wanted everybody to see my cat. Okay, everybody, you're lovely. Thank you so much for watching.